Afternoon Drive also live right now on mixtv.tv as we have a few interviews scheduled for this afternoon. Now, this is one of the first times I've got to do an interview like this. I'm going to be interviewing a buddy of ours from this community that a lot of people may remember. TJ Hicks is going to be in the studio with me this afternoon, and he is an MMA fighter, and he is here promoting an event that's coming up and also a fundraiser that's coming up tonight from 5 to 8 at Sweet Caroline's Cheesecake. So we're going to welcome in TJ Hicks. And TJ, how you doing this afternoon, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and be able to support Bradley Wrestling and this event at the end of this month.
No problem at all. Of course, TJ, I was catching up with you a little bit there. You've just been back. You've been in the service for the past 4 years. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that, where you served, and some things like that, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. So I joined the Marine Corps in January 2020. My first stint of the Marine Corps, I was on the Marine Corps wrestling team. So I was stationed in North Carolina, and I was just chasing that world team trial spot. Sadly, I qualified for the World Team Trials 2 Julys ago, and then they disbanded our wrestling program. So I went back to an air station in North Carolina, and then I spent my last year in Japan.
In Japan, okay. First of all, thank you for your service. We appreciate everything that you've done for our country, but you're also a 3-time state champ at Bradley Central in the wrestling program there, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me the years that you were there at Bradley.
My freshman year was 13 and to 14. I graduated in 17.
In 17 there. So Ben Smith was your coach, right?
Yes, sir.
What did you learn, just kind of backtracking a little bit, what did you learn about what drew you into wrestling, and then also for you to continue that out of high school into the military? What was it that drew you to that, and what did you learn from that?
I've been a part of the Bradley wrestling family ever since I was 4 years old, so I'm guessing just the family. They always wanted us to wrestle. Started when I was 4 years old, so I've been through the program all my life. Been wrestling 20 years. But I think it really taught me a lot, and staying motivated, dedicated, and always having the drive to be the best I can be at whatever I'm trying to do.
Again, TJ Hicks is in the studio with us this afternoon. A graduate of Bradley Central High School, was a 3-time state champ there at Bradley Central. We know the rich history of their wrestling program. And now in the MMA, which a lot of people, explain to people what MMA really is. I mean, a lot of times we kind of see the portions of it like maybe on an ESPN clip. And sometimes it looks like it's pretty violent. I mean, let's just face it, right? I mean, it is what it is. But there has to be another side of that. Tell me, from your point of view, when you see people, meet people, and you tell them, I'm an MMA fighter, what are some of the reactions you get, and then how do you respond to that?
A lot of people around here, they're not too shocked when I tell them. A lot of people already knew I was kind of going towards that way. But MMA to me, yes, it's a violent sport, but also I think it's like an art, kind of like with wrestling.
Yeah.
You got to practice. There's so many different things. So you have your wrestling, you have your grappling, you have your kickboxing, just everything mixed in one. So it's something that really pushes you and drives you, and you'll never be at the epitome of MMA because there's no such thing. There's too many complex parts of it. So that's what I'm really learning and loving about it, that you may be good at this one thing, but somebody always going to be better than you at something else. So just always getting in there and trying to be better every day.
What would you say to, I'm sure we've got parents listening right now, young kids, middle school, maybe elementary. I know there's the wrestling programs here start very early, and then into middle school, high school, even beyond that, like what you have done. What would you say to parents that have males and females now? Of course, female high school wrestling has been very popular. If the kids are showing interest in that, what would you say to those parents that says, I don't know if I want my child being a part of that? What would you say to those parents listening this afternoon?
I think wrestling is one of the best sports for young children, especially nowadays, because it teaches you humility. It teaches you being able to lose, being able to fight back in situations. Maybe you need to fight back in a situation, or maybe it's just teaching you that, like, hey, if something's not going your way, you can always work to get better. So it's a lot of perseverance, a lot of just I think it's great. It builds character.
Builds character. That's a great way to put it. Now you're going to be on a fight card for the ANF 7. Is that right? Did I get that right? Tell me what ANF 7 is about.
So this is a promotion run out of Chattanooga. It's all or nothing fighting.
All or nothing fight. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, sir. This will be the 7th card of this promotion.
Okay.
It'll be my debut fight, so I'm excited about it.
I bet you are excited. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. I have some teammates that are fighting on the card as well, so I'm super excited to watch them. And there'll be, excuse me, sorry. There will be 13 fights on the card. There's 2 championship belts on the line, so it's going to be a great night.
Now, tell me a little bit. I've got a little bit of a poster here, and Kashad Merritt, am I saying his name right?
Yes, sir.
So is that your opponent? I kind of see a card where you two are lined up. Is that who you're going to be facing there?
Yes, sir. That would be my opponent.
All right. Have you ever seen this person or had any interaction, or is this kind of the first taste that you guys will have at each other?
Yeah, this will be the first time we ever meet each other. We're both debut fighters, so it's kind of going out there and looking at a blank page, you know.
Right.
So you got to be ready for everything. You just got to go out there, train your game plan, work as hard as you can, and at the end of the day, hope that's enough to get your hand raised at the end.
Get your hand raised. Now, this is going to be going on at the Camp Jordan Arena on October the 28th. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure you'll have lots of people from Bradley County. I'm sure Ben Smith and a lot of the high school wrestlers that's a part of that program now. Bear Nation, I'm sure they're going to be coming out supporting you with you being a 3-time state champ there for the high school. And really everything else that you've done in our community. So it's one of the things that I believe that everybody kind of has a passion. And if you're younger, or it doesn't matter really what age you are, you need to find that passion and apply yourself, because it kind of gives you motivation, gives you drive to be what you want to be, whatever that is, whether it's an MMA fighter, whether it's a basketball player, whether it's being a swimmer, whatever it is, you just want to find that passion and apply yourself to it. And so you found out very early on that wrestling was yours, and now you kind of transformed that into MMA.
Yes, sir.
Is that kind of how it's transpired for you?
Yes, sir. I just I love the competitive nature, always having somebody to train for, somebody to beat, somebody to go after, or even somebody that beats you. You go, well, you're not going to beat me next time.
Right.
I'm coming back. You know, you're not going to get lucky twice.
Right.
So I've always loved that. I'm a triplet as well. So I have my twin brother. We always practice together, and we were always that way, and we're still that way. We're always competing. So.
Wow. Again, we have TJ Hicks with us in the studio this afternoon. I'm sure a lot of people recognize who I'm talking to this afternoon. Graduate of Bradley Central High School, 2017, you mentioned, and served in the Marine Corps for the past 3 or 4 years. And now back in our community around our area. And he is going to be in an MMA fight that is going to be at Camp Jordan Arena on October the 28th. Now, let's talk a little bit about this fundraiser that's going on at Sweet Caroline's. Tell me about that. And I know that's, if I'm not mistaken, Sweet Caroline's right off Frontage Road, Target Shopping Center, the Cleveland Town Center, whatever way you may know it as. That's going to be from 5 to 8 today. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you're going to be there as a fundraiser. Is the fundraising effort to kind of help you pay for the expenses and all the things that come along with what your sport demands?
This is for Bradley Wrestling.
This is for the Bradley Wrestling team.
Sir.
Okay.
The Bradley Wrestling team.
All right. So this has nothing to do for you personally. It's just you're there helping support what has been a stronghold for you throughout your career, which is the Bradley Wrestling program.
Oh, yes, sir. I think it's always great to give back from where you started, and Bradley Wrestling has been there my entire life. So
Okay.
I'm going to go over there and see how I can help out in any way, and just try to make it a little bit easier for them for the upcoming season, maybe some fundraising, stuff like that.
How are they looking? How is Bradley High School Wrestling looking in your vision today?
They're a young team, but I think, you just got to get in there and train.
Right.
So if they get in there and they're training hard, it'd be a good season. But high school wrestling, you got to always, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So
and your sport, I would think, whether it's MMA or going back to your wrestling career, a lot of it's hard. When you think, you just pouring yourself in there. Another person physically may be bigger or stronger, but you could just never overmatch heart, can you?
No, sir. There's been many matches that I've won, and I was not the better wrestler by any means. It's just wrestling, MMA fighting all in one. It's want and drive.
Yeah.
If you want it more, you're going to put out and you're going to win.
That's
but
good
if you
stuff.
don't, you're going to end up in situations you don't want to be in.
All right, so there we go. TJ Hicks is in the studio with us talking about an upcoming event for him on October the 28th at Camp Jordan Arena. His first fight, MMA fight, going for a title. Is that right? Did you
No,
say?
sir. There'll be 2 title fights.
Two
on the
title
card.
fights there that night, but this is your first match.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is we want to get out there and support. And then today, TJ is also going to be out at Sweet Caroline Cheesecake. If you'd like to come over, rekindle a friendship, or see him in person, he'll be there from 5 to 8, helping the Bradley Central High School wrestlers this year and the program they've got going on, giving back. And not like he's not done that before already with your service in the Marines, but continuing to do that. And we definitely appreciate what you're doing. All right, as we get ready to close, is there anything else that you want us to know about either the MMA or about coming to Camp Jordan Arena for this event? What do you want to leave us with this afternoon as we close here, TJ?
Well, for the audience at Camp Jordan, wear a costume because there will be a costume contest.
Okay.
And there are prizes for the winners of the costume contest.
Cool.
So make it a fun atmosphere for everybody, and it'll be a fun night.
It will be a fun night. Get to see TJ there in person and see. I'm like I said, we're so proud of you. When people go away and do great things, whenever you're in the service and you come back, we just can't say thank you enough for taking care of us back home, because you're representing Bradley County. When you're overseas in Japan, wherever you're at, you're just an extension of Bradley County, doing what you're doing, keeping us all safe here on the home front, and we appreciate that and wish you much success in this next phase of your life there in MMA fighting. And we just, for people to find out how they can follow you, I mean, I'm sure this event, but I'm sure you've got more things lined up beyond this. How can people follow you and keep up with what you got going on?
I'm on Facebook. It's just TJ Hicks. You can find me on there. On Instagram, it's TJ Hicks_1, and that's really all I use. So,
Okay.
On my Facebook page, I do have links for tickets for the fight. So if you want to support me, that will actually support me in my journey through this career that I'm going for. You can go onto my Facebook page and then post the link. And if you could give it a share and just let more people see it, it really helped me out.
All right, so there you go. Let's do that, folks. Let's help TJ out there with his journey here with his next phase of life. TJ, it's great to meet you, sir. Thank you for everything again, and hope that you'll have continued success. And let's go ahead and just take care of business on October the 28th.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Mix 104.1 WCL.